Meet Yvonne Gimbert.
You know your child best. I might be an expert in sleep, but you know your child best.
A pediatric sleep consultant who helps exhausted parents teach their babies and their toddlers to sleep throughout the night in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is like, whoa, really? I'm going to get my life back in 2 weeks? Are you serious? She has the proof. She has the results. So why are parents not booking her out? I think you're undervaluing yourself, Yvonne. She came to the Fairy BOSSmother Show to fix the branding problem that is holding her back. So where is this lack of confidence coming from?
I don't know.
But instead, we found the root underlying cause on why she's not doing as well as she wants to. Yvonne is famous for a moment.
Yvonne is famous for helping countless number of families get their babies sleeping.
And I hope we can fix this today.
Okay.
You ready? Power pose! Yvonne is the best! I'm Tarlene Raman Figueroa, your Diplomat 10 personal brand consultant. And today, I'm helping Yvonne become unforgettable. Your personal brand, Yvonne, it is literally you. It's just about you, what's inside you. Do you think I can finally help claim her power? I want to know one person who can say, you know what, I don't need sleep, I don't need you. Let's meet Yvonne Gimbert. Before we meet Yvonne, I asked her a few basic questions about her business so I can see how she talks about her business and the kind of words she uses to describe herself. Let's take a look behind the scenes. The first question I asked Yvonne was, what's your business and who do you serve? So Yvonne has a business called Dreamworthy Sleeps, and she helps exhausted parents teach their babies and toddlers to sleep through the night in less than 2 weeks. Okay, wait a second. That is such a bold statement that she came off the bat. It shows me that she's really confident in, number one, her skills, number two, what she actually offers to the world, and number three, the results. 2 weeks to sleep train a baby? Amazing, amazing. Yvonne, if I had known you, girl, I would have been knocking on your door. She has the boldness. I'm curious to know how that has translated in her business. Next, I asked Yvonne, what are your main goals for your business right now? And Yvonne had a very simple statement: to grow my audience and book more clients. Man, this woman should be booked out. Once parents actually know what she provides, the results that she offers, and the guarantees that she's able to give to these very tired, very exhausted individuals, something is not working in her business, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this. When I asked her, what's your biggest challenge you're currently facing in reaching those goals? Yvonne said, I'm not getting enough people booking calls with me, likely because I still have a very small audience. Your audience should not matter how well you do in your business. I get the feeling that Yvonne's not pricing her work the way it should be. And as a result, by undercharging people and lowballing yourself, you're not able to climb the ladder and get as much revenue for your business as possible. With a guarantee and results that you can boldly claim that you can sleep train a baby and a toddler to sleep in less than 2 weeks. Pricing should not be an issue for Yvonne, but I bet this is one of the major causes on why she's struggling with really scaling her business. Last but not least, I asked Yvonne, have you done any work on your personal brand? And Yvonne said, I've tried to use consistent design across platforms. I've tried to maintain a consistent voice, but this is definitely an area that I don't have a lot of knowledge around. She clearly knows that consistency is key, but there's no point being consistent if your message is not like hitting that bullseye in that dartboard. So I'm curious to know how she talks about the results that she provides to these very exhausted, tired parents, and if she's completely missing the mark by talking around the subject as opposed to just going, boom, this is the problem that you have in your life right now, and I am the antidote to fix that. Without further ado, let's meet Yvonne Gimbert. Yvonne, welcome to the Fairy BOSSmother Show. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. So excited to be here.
You know what? I'm super excited to talk to you because your work, Yvonne, it is so important. Everyone needs you. So before we get into that, let's do a quick vibe check. Do you want the full-on Fairy BOSSmother, unfiltered, harsh truths, and give you everything that I have? Or do you want me to go slightly softer with the kitty gloves on?
No, let's go for it.
Yeah, let's punch it out. Okay. All right, we're going to start off easy, Yvonne. Can you tell me who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name is Yvonne Gimbert. I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant, and I help parents teach their babies and toddlers to sleep through the night in less than 2 weeks without the guilt, guesswork. I make it easy for them.
None of that crying out bullshit, right?
Right.
Wow, that's incredible. And I
Thank
would
you.
love to know the step before you decided that this is going to be the thing that you're going to dedicate your life to. What happened before that for you, Yvonne?
Yeah, so I used to be a pediatric nurse. That's my background. I absolutely loved doing that work. But then I had my own kids, and the shift work was really hard on a family.
Yeah.
And so I decided to become a stay-at-home mom. I did that for several years, and then I was looking for something else to fill my time. And I knew that I didn't want to go back to the shift work.
Mm.
And I'd actually helped a friend of ours. They were really struggling with their children's sleep, and I just kind of told them, what I would do, and they apparently it helped them a bunch. My friend Adam came back and said, you should look into doing this professionally. And I did. At first, actually, I kind of blew him off. I thought, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did. I went ahead and got certified, and I have to say, like, I love helping families. That's the part that I really miss about nursing. And
Yeah.
it's been amazing. I love doing this work.
Oh,
So
that's amazing. That's awesome. And how many kids do you have, Yvonne?
I have two kids.
Two kids? And did you
Yeah,
go through the whole sleep training thing with them as well? What was your
I
experience?
yeah, so my daughter was pretty good sleeper from the beginning. But we did at 4 months. I spoke to my pediatrician and we did sleep train her. She was like a dream, though. She was so easy. And then along came my son, and he was the type of child who wanted to, I say that in air quotes, he wanted to be rocked to sleep, and not just rocked, but like bounced and walked to sleep every night. And, I did it for a while, and then I was just beside myself. Like I don't function well when I'm not sleeping.
Who does,
And
right?
so, right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Like, I want to
Um,
know one person who can say, you know what? I don't need sleep. I don't need you. No
you're
one with
right.
this.
No one.
No
And if they
one.
tell you they can, they're
They're
lying.
freaking
Yeah,
lying.
yeah. So I read a bunch and just realized, like, okay, this is something that I have created, right? I have continued to bounce him, walk him to sleep every night. And he can learn this skill. So we taught him how to sleep independently. I also realized that I was every day at nap time, I was just like throwing him into his crib, expecting him just to, wind down on his own and fall asleep.
Yeah.
And through my research, I realized, no, like you actually have to help them to wind down. So yeah, and it made such a huge difference for me. Like I said, I love my sleep, as most of us do.
Yeah.
And it was life-changing, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a mom of one as well, and
Okay.
she's going to be turning 5 soon. And
Okay.
luckily for me, I had a kid. I mean, I don't know what I was doing. I was a new parent in the
Right.
middle of COVID. So
Yeah.
I just thought, you know what, let me learn her schedule. And
Yeah.
when I know her schedule, then I'll be able to work my schedule around her. And
Right.
luckily for us, I mean, what you said was important. Sleeping is something that can be trained, just like eating. They're learning to do everything themselves, right?
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
something a lot of people don't understand. Sleep is a skill that can be learned. This is not
Yes.
forever. But if you also have really crappy sleep and you don't know how to pass that down, like the best ways to wind down and sleep, how are you expecting your child to know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It's so true.
So I can imagine like you starting your business very much happened accidentally, prompted by another friend of yours, and boom, here you are. So how long
Here I
have you been in
am.
business?
Since September. So I guess that's about 7 months now.
Okay. And how's it going for you so far?
It's going really well. I will say, I mean, it could be going better. I, the time that I really shine is when I'm helping parents. Like I love that. I love connecting with parents, answering their questions, things like that. I don't have any business training, right? I was a nurse for 12 years.
Mm.
So the business side of things, it's been a steep learning curve. I've enjoyed learning it because I'm a bit of a nerd. I love learning new things. But yeah, I definitely could use some help in that area.
Okay, so what is the number one struggle for you right now? If there's one thing that you're just like, oh my God, this needs to leave my life forever, what would that be?
Probably actually finding my own clients, right?
Mm,
Having to go out and market myself to
okay.
people and kind of talk about myself. You kind of have to, I feel like when you're in business for yourself, you kind of have to, brag about yourself, and that
Mm.
makes me feel uncomfortable. So, yeah, I think that's probably the hardest part for me.
Okay, let's test it out. Ready?
Okay.
I'm going to put you on the
Yes.
spot, Yvonne, because you said you want hard mode. Yvonne, why are you the best sleep consultant for tired ass parents?
I am the best sleep consultant for tired parents because I have been where they've been. I know what it's like to be in their shoes. My experience as a pediatric nurse, I think, really helps. I've always, in my nursing and now as a sleep consultant as well, I've always told parents that you know your child best. I might be an expert in sleep, but you know your child best. So we have to work together. But I really try to bring parents into that process, which I don't know that everyone does that.
Okay.
Um,
Well, I think we can sharpen that up a little bit more because
okay,
number one, you do have professional expertise as a pediatric nurse. Already that elevates you. I think you're
right,
undervaluing yourself, Yvonne, right?
maybe.
And I think that's probably why it's hard for you to, number one, articulate why you're the best, and number two, be able to get in front of these parents who desperately need you, because we know that every human on earth needs sleep. And we already acknowledge anyone who says that are completely lying. So we know
Yeah,
there's people who are really tired and they definitely need you.
yeah,
But if you're not getting in front of them, and if you're not positioning yourself in the right way and saying the right things, and in a snap saying, I'm Yvonne Gimbert and I do boom, 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 boom. This is why you need me. With that level of confidence, this is
right.
how you're going to get your clients,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I saw something interesting on Instagram. So we're going to get to Instagram in a minute. But you said on Instagram that you are able to help sleep train a baby or a kid, a young child, in less than 2 weeks. True or false?
True.
Okay,
Yeah.
we need to lead with that because 2 weeks is like, whoa, really? I'm going to get my life back in 2 weeks? Are you serious?
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you're not waiting for a month or even like 6 months. 6 months is a whole other child. That child's going to,
Right.
in two
Yeah.
weeks, that is like record breaking time. And there's books out there who are doing, there's other sleep consultants who probably say something similar to you, but you have to read a book to digest that information, to understand
Right.
it, and then kind of translate it, and then go, oh, okay, let's try this, this, and this, and it's still not working. And then
Yeah.
another month is gone. Yvonne, they need you right now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So let's raise your confidence up a little bit more and let's raise your value up right now.
Okay.
Okay. Give me your best confidence pose. Let me see it.
Oh God.
We do this with kids. We're going to do this with adults as well.
I don't know.
You know what, Yvonne? I'll help you. Let's do our best, like Wonder Woman power pose. You
Okay.
ready? Power pose. Yvonne is the best. Okay, awesome. I know that was really silly.
It does. It does.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it with me. Thank you.
Yeah. But you know what? This is the whole thing, right? We, as parents, we model for our children
Right.
and we have to model to the other parents who don't know what they're doing. That's exactly what it is that you do. You're training them techniques, skills, strategies. You're showing them how it's done. You have to be the absolute best at doing that before someone else can say, you know what, Yvonne, okay, I'm going to do it with you, even though if this feels really stupid and I'm really scared and all the
Yeah.
anxieties, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you wish people knew about your work?
I wish that people knew that I am deeply committed to their success. it's important to me to see parents succeed. And I know that we can get this work done in less than 2 weeks. But if for some reason we can't, I will work with them to make sure that they see success. That is what's most important to me.
That sounds like an overtiredness to me. So how long do you, on average, work with your clients? If it's not 2 weeks, what is the average?
2 weeks. 2 weeks. And
2 weeks.
I've never had someone who didn't get results. And we're usually seeing results within the first week, within the first night, within the first couple of nights. But I think sometimes parents, they don't believe that it's going to work in less than 2 weeks, right?
That's your proof right there. The fact that you just said, I've never had to work with people more than 2 weeks. So why bring it up when you haven't even been in a position, right?
Yes,
Yeah?
no, yes.
So let's set you up for success and say, I've actually never had any of my clients go beyond 2 weeks. Here's the proof. Like, here's the receipt. You want to be able to get people to say, do you know what? Even put my baby to sleep in 1 week, not even 2. I didn't have to wait for 2 weeks. Yeah. That's a miracle worker right there. Yeah, you're working miracles. Right. So one of the other things you mentioned was you're struggling to, I guess, get in front of your clients and find your clients by yourself, right?
Yeah. So, I feel like it's picking up, but that's been the struggle.
But it's not picking up fast enough for you to just go, you know what? I just want to work with my clients and not on my business anymore, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we got to reposition you, girl. So if let's say if money wasn't an issue for you, right? You do have the clients coming in. In fact, you are so booked up, you have to tell a parent, do you know what? I can't take you on one-to-one right now, but here's all of these resources that I created myself so that you can still put your baby to sleep in 2 weeks or less. What would you want to be known for? So what is your legacy? What is the impact that you want to have?
Oh.
Yeah. What is like Yvonne is famous for moment?
I mean, Yvonne is famous for helping countless number of families get their babies sleeping and also helping families make the transformation from just totally sleep deprived, kind of fumbling through things to knowing exactly what they need to do. I think, like you mentioned something earlier, how, as parents, we don't really know what we're doing. Like whenever we become parents, we're all just figuring it out, right? No one actually, none of our kids came with a handbook or anything like that. And like, yes, there are books that you can read, but it's difficult when you first become a parent. And so I guess I would like to be known for making parents more confident and their lives easier.
Yeah, but what does that actually look like in real time to make their life easier? For what purpose? Why?
Gosh, you ask some hard questions.
Awesome.
I love it.
The hard part.
It looks like them waking up in the morning, feeling refreshed and energized, knowing exactly, really not even just knowing, but really feeling what their baby or toddler wants and needs, but being able to marry that with the parents' wants and needs and desires. So these families would be thriving, right? Not just surviving. They would actually be living their best lives. And I think you might ask me, what does that look like?
Bingo. Let me help you out, Yvonne, because I think if I was working on your personal brand, I think number one, exhausted parents is definitely a word that I would use, because you're not going to be working with people who's figured it out. You're going to be working with people who are really struggling. And this is what I call the salt in the wound formula. What is their biggest pain point? And Yvonne, what I want you to do is get on that ladder, I can see behind you, and I want you to elbow drop them. And I want you to really like show them, do you know what? This is really the extent of your pain because of the problem that you have right now, because your baby does not sleep. And because your baby's not sleeping, or you're, doing 10,000 steps around the house, you're not getting any sleep. And that has a knock-on effect on life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right? Your mental health is a mess. You're probably not eating very well because you can't even cook yourself a meal. You can't even go to the bathroom for number 2 because your baby's right there. Think of those like real struggles. Job performance could be another thing. You're not awake enough to do a good work. And now you're thinking, oh my God, I might lose my job because I have my family thing over my head. Salt in the wound. What is the biggest wound that you're healing for your exhausted parents, Yvonne?
The biggest wound? I mean, I think sometimes parents even struggle with marital issues because no one's getting good sleep in the house. Everyone is exhausted. And some parents have come to me saying we're at each other's throats. Maybe they don't agree on a method, right? They've both want to try different things. And so that's one big issue that I've seen. And I actually did have a client who reached out because the father was doing poorly at work because of the lack of sleep.
I mean, you've lived it. You know these people. So when you're thinking about how you really really help people, it's beyond the baby now. This is way past the baby. You're not helping the baby. The baby is a byproduct of this entire thing.
Yeah.
So your focus, your target audience, Yvonne, is not the child, is the parents themselves. You're not fixing the problem of putting their child to sleep. You're fixing the problem of all of these external things that are coming out because the child is not asleep. Right. If you were able to pinpoint all of that, these are the wounds that people want to hear about. It's beyond like, my baby's not sleeping. Your solution is, I can help you put your baby to sleep in less than 2 weeks, right?
That makes sense. Yeah.
Right. But the real problem is job performance. I'm not, my mental health, I'm going crazy. I can't do this anymore. My marriage is on the rocks. We're constantly fighting. I might be losing my job. I don't have a job right now. I can't even look because my baby's all, with me. Then there's a postpartum depression. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
So these are like real, like if these problems are not nipped in the bud right now, there's bigger problems that are coming beyond just the child not sleeping. So look at you. You're a lifesaver. You're solving so many problems because you have this one methodology, one strategy that is going to remove all of this problem. Do you believe that though?
I do actually, because I've been in the situation where my mental health was a mess, right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sleeping. So I need to work on my confidence.
Yeah, you need to work on your confidence. So, okay, let me give you a few more like salt in the wound moments. And you can tell me yes or no. Just say yes if you agree. Oh, no, I totally disagree with you. Okay. Okay. Parents are arguing over whose turn it is to put the baby to sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Right? That would make a great reel on Instagram, right? Okay. The baby only sleeps if they're held, which is being your position. Okay. You have no time for anything else.
Yes.
Okay. You've read every blog on the internet. You've tried every trick and nothing's working.
Yes.
Okay. They feel like a failure because napping should be natural.
Yes. I think that.
Okay. Their marriage, their job performance, their mental health is falling apart because of sleep deprivation.
Yes. All of those.
Check. Yvonne does it all. Yvonne, you are already fixing these problems. So where is this lack of confidence coming from?
I don't know. I don't know where the lack of confidence comes from. I do believe that I help with all of those things. And I believe that fixing sleep for the entire family, when I help a family with maybe their baby's sleep, it's not just the baby who benefits, the entire family benefits.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I guess it's just hesitation to put myself out there. I'm not sure.
But you are the boss at what you do. I know I can't do what you do, Yvonne. There's no way. I've tried it with one. I am stopping at one. I am not going to do it with countless families. No way. Right? And you mentioned the word countless specifically. I want to help countless families get their sleep back. Let's put a number to that. What does countless actually mean to you?
Thousands.
What's your like absolute stretch goal? Like going to space stretch goal?
Oh gosh. I mean 10,000, 20,000, like a million.
Let's go for a million. I want to help a million families get sleep today, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we can do that.
All right.
We can do that. With the Fairy BOSSmother by your side, we can get you there. All right. So let's do a temperature check. I know I just threw a whole lot of stuff, and I want to ask you, Yvonne, do you want me to push harder? Do you want me to go a little bit more steady on you?
No, let's keep going.
Okay. Well, have you ever Googled yourself?
I have.
Okay. What do you think I'm gonna find? Because I'm about to Google you.
Not as much as I would like there to be out there.
Okay.
I mean, I think you'll find my website. I hope you'll find my website and my Instagram, maybe my Facebook, but
Okay.
you know.
All right. Let's find out. Right, let me share my screen. All right. Let me know if I'm spelling your name right. Nope. That's
Yeah.
Gimbert.
Correct. Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Okay, your website's coming up.
All
Woohoo!
right.
That's awesome. And then we have an article as you as a pediatric nurse. That's not that long ago. It's like recent.
Yeah, that was another podcast that I did.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, yep, there's your Instagram, Facebook. Is this you?
No, that's
No.
Yvonne Gimbert. No.
Gilbert. Okay. Which is probably going to be something that people are going to confuse the name with, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Gilbert. All right. Awesome. Is there anything here that surprises you? You're showing up, which is great.
No, I don't think so. No. I guess I'm a bit surprised my Pinterest comes up. That's just a personal account, but
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm seeing, right? The fact that your Pinterest is even showing up, Yvonne, is because your name is actually not in demand. There's not a lot of Yvonne Gimberts around, which is excellent news for you because you have 100% power over your personal identity. And what that really means for you, Yvonne, as a business owner, we need to amplify your personal brand now. We want
Okay.
people to know when they Google sleep consultant, your name should be coming up over and over and over again because your name is not in competition with anyone, right? And then when we look at the images, I see some of these images are directly from you, and that's it. That's literally there's like 3 lines with Yvonne Gimbert. So there's a lot of work to do to get your face completely dominating the first page of Google. So that's good news. The good
Okay.
news is there's a lot of potential. You have a lot of opportunity. The bad news is you're not showing up as much as you need to. All right, let's look at your Instagram. So Instagram, all right, so Yvonne underscore sleep consultant. Okay. So you mentioned in the first line, certified pediatric sleep consultant. That's great because people will be looking for sleep consultant. And then in the first line, you said, I help get your baby or toddler to sleep through the night in less than 2 weeks. That is fantastic because that is going to be your biggest selling point. And then you also mentioned that you're a mom of 2. Oh, that's cute. I love the 2 sign.
Okay, good.
That's cute. No,
I wasn't sure what you'd say about that. I love
it's
it.
cute because you're coming
Okay.
across as someone who is super friendly, very approachable, and those are all the things that you want as a sleep consultant working with families.
Okay.
Right, let's have a look at some of your reels. So, what is your relationship with Instagram right now?
I am trying to post consistently. I was posting pretty much every day and then went on vacation, got a little bit off track, but I try to post daily. I try to do at least one kind of talking reel where you see my face a couple of times per week. I'm trying to become like a relatable person and post in my stories. I struggle with that, but yeah, that's Instagram is my preferred platform. Like
Yeah.
I'm on Facebook, but I don't really do a lot with Facebook. I prefer working with Instagram.
I think you're doing excellent on Instagram actually. If you're posting the
Thank
way
you.
you are so just looking at your real views, you are over the 200 jail mark point. This is where
Yes.
people get stuck at. You're averaging around about 400, and then your engagement is pretty good. I mean, 11 likes, 17 likes, 19 likes. That's really good. It means that people are actually tuned into what you're saying to them. So we need to post more. Yvonne,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, your holiday is an excuse. We cannot let those excuses like
I know.
diminish your momentum, right?
I know. Yes.
Yeah. I
Yes,
think
I
you've got
do.
Instagram down. Like you've got the hooks. You're doing really well with the branding here is very consistent, is very clear. You're
Thank
definitely the
you.
talking head. So again, where is like that lack of confidence coming from? I don't understand. I really don't.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know where the lack of confidence comes from. I guess it's part of it is just like, oh my God, what are people going to think of me? Are they
Through
going to
that,
think?
no, People are dying to know what you have to say, really.
Thank you.
People want you, Yvonne. People want your strategies because 2 weeks is crazy. So let's look at your website and see, why are you not getting enough clients coming to you? Because you shouldn't have to beg for clients. People should be booking up, and your calendar should be full. So let's have a look at this. I think your website might be a problem.
I think it might be.
All right. So dreamworthysleeps.com. Instantly, I'm seeing a problem here. So colors aside, right? Because personal branding has nothing to do with your colors. The first thing I'm noticing is on Instagram, you mentioned this 2-week thing, but you're not mentioning it on your website. You're just like, are you dreaming of better sleep? It's like, yeah, but it's really boring. Where's the hook?
Okay. I love it. Yes.
Yeah.
I do need a hook there.
You do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about something
All right.
like get your baby to sleep through the night in 2 weeks, guaranteed?
Love it.
Right? Use confident language, guaranteed. You told me, Yvonne, that you've not had a client whose baby did not sleep past 2 weeks. So you could guarantee that.
Yeah.
And if they
that's
can't,
true.
they're probably doing something wrong, and you're going to help them through that, right? So confident language. And then you talk about how, Yvonne Gimbert is blah, 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 certified pediatric sleep consultant, former pediatric nurse. This is not the Yvonne show. This is where you start talking about that wound that the parents, the very exhausted parents, are feeling, right? So I don't know what your services are, but I'm just going to, at the top of my head, something like personalized coaching for exhausted parents who need real sleep, not guesswork or another method to try, something like that. And then boom, that way it's like very clear what you offer. And then you can talk about you. I'm Yvonne Gimbert, and I'm in less than 2 weeks, you're going to get the best sleep of your life, because that's the promise that you're making is sleep, right? Kind of like a sleep doctor. You are putting these people to sleep. God, you should be the fairy boss mother with the one who's like, just right? And forget about newborn, infant, toddlers. You know what? You have all of them. These are kids who are struggling with sleep. And you know that newborns and infants typically are the problem age. Right. And when you start at newborn, and you've trained them at that newborn stage, then it gets easier. Exactly. If you're working with children, oh my God, you have a whole other fish to fry, because that's a lot more work. And I love the fact that you've got social proof here, Yvonne, but I'm not learning enough about what this 2-week process looks like. Like how do you really help? I want to see videos of people going, Yvonne was a lifesaver. Oh my goodness, if it wasn't for Yvonne, I would lose my freaking mind. Like those kind of like emotional videos. Okay. That's the kind of things that I want to see. And remove the stock images. I mean, stock images is okay for your industry, I think, but there's just not enough. And I think this is probably the reason why you're not getting those clients, Yvonne, is you're not showing enough about your magic. Your superpower is putting people to sleep, right? Everyone to sleep, not just the babies, the adults too. Right. And your target audience are those exhausted parents. And because they're exhausted, mental health, can't cook a meal, literally can't do anything else but hold the baby. Like all of these, like imagine like the balls around the head, like these are all the balls I'm juggling. But really, I'm not juggling because I'm holding my baby, so I'm stuck. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah. Yes. So what will you work on today? I am going to work on my website, using that hook to start off and really showing parents what my program is all about and how I can help them overcome to heal these wounds, right? Yes, I'm going to work on that today. And I think add some urgency too, because if they don't fix this problem, it becomes a ripple effect. It's going to affect far-reaching areas of their life that they haven't even considered because they're so tired. Right. So you're emphasizing exhaustion, tired, sleep deprivation, zombie-like state, like all of those kind of like references to lack of sleep. Yeah. And you're not talking about the baby anymore. You're talking about the parents. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yes, I love it. So what do you think it would feel like for you if all of this was figured out in 100 days? Oh, it would feel relief. I would feel amazing, on top of the world, right? If I was just, it would be amazing. Guess what? It can happen. Because you're right here with me on this show, figuring this out. That's right. Right? Yeah. Right? And then what would change if your brand right? Once it's changed, people are chasing you down. Like they see they see your Instagram, everything is set up, right? All the automations, I don't know, you're busting these reels out like a boss. Like this is so easy for you now. You're on holiday and everything's on autopilot. And
Right.
you're still getting DMs and people going, can you help me like 3 weeks ago? I need you like yesterday. Help. What would that do for you in your life?
Oh my gosh. I mean, first of all, I feel like it would save me a lot of time. Right now, I just feel like I'm constantly spinning my wheels. And so it would just I would feel this sense of relief. I feel like that would help me with my confidence. I would feel confident and successful. To feel like I created this successful business would just it would feel magical.
Yeah, yeah. And you are capable of that. Everything that your personal brand, Yvonne, it is literally you. It's just about you, what's inside you. We need to pull that out. We need to pull out that confidence. We need to pull out your like strategies. Like we're not going to give away the tool works and the framework of how you guarantee that 2 weeks,
Right.
because that's what people pay you for, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
essentially what we are doing is that salt in the wound, right? Number one, you are going to be very explicit of if you don't change this right now, boom, cascade, ripple effect. You don't want to be there. And working with me, this goes away in 2 weeks or less. There's so much power to those words, Yvonne, and you're already using those words and you have already experienced that level of success with your clients. We just need more of them now.
Yes.
Can I ask how much are you charging for your services at the moment?
It's $525 for a 2-week consultation.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. We're going to change that. We're going to double that. Okay. We're going to double that. And basically, when you build up your brand, so here's the thing that happens. You have a magnetic personal brand. You have all this confidence. You have social proof. You are definitely able to guarantee that 2 week sleep. And if not, you've got coaching services that will help them beyond that, right? You have a community of parents who are just like, I don't want Yvonne going anywhere because something else has come up now. And oh my God, she's a pediatric nurse. So I don't want to go to my pediatrician. Can I just go to Yvonne? Like there's so many other things that you can do to build up your services, to nurture that relationship with one client. So that one client doesn't stay with you for 2 weeks, Yvonne. They stay with you for a good period of their child's life because you've become this like indispensable partner as part of their parenting journey. Like imagine that.
That would be
That's what
incredible.
I see you. That's where I see you, Yvonne.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
Yeah. If I was to work on your personal brand, that's what I would focus on. Yeah. The immediate, like, salt in the wound is gone. Here's a band-aid. That's what you're doing is giving them a band-aid, right? For like $500, $1,000, the most expensive band-aid they'll ever pay for. But really what you're doing is, okay, now that band-aid is fixed, what's next, right? You still have job performance issues. You still have mental health issues. You still have blah, 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 because it's related to you being a parent. How can we make that better so that you could be the best parent for your child, right? Because it might be that they're not feeding the kid the right food and that's why they're going haywire. Or it could be that, I don't know, there's a bunch of issues with kids, right? But you're connecting the dots. This is what's might be happening with your child. And this is how you as a parent can fix that. And you're being kind of like the advisor.
Yeah.
When I say that to you, how does that make you feel?
Yeah, it makes me feel excited, really excited that is even possible.
That is your reality. We can create it right now. So we're wrapping up now, Yvonne. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling energized. I'm feeling motivated and excited at the possibility that this could actually, that this could actually be.
Yeah, exactly. Can I see the power pose one more time, Yvonne? Yeah, it's so much better. And if there was one thing you took away from the Fairy Boss Mother today, what would that be?
Just to believe in the possibility that you can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Because you create your own reality, and it's inside you, right? Like if you pull out what's inside you, you can create whatever you want.
Exactly. Yvonne, one last time, who are you and what do you do?
My name's Yvonne Gimbert, and I'm a certified pediatric sleep consultant. I help parents teach their babies and toddlers to sleep through the night in less than 2 weeks so they can become the parents that they had imagined being.
Well done. That's much better. Yvonne, it
you.
was wonderful having you. How can people find you?
Thank you, Talon. It was wonderful to be here. People can find me on my website, which is www.dreamworthysleeps.com. You can also follow me on Instagram. My handle is Yvonne_sleep consultant.
Awesome. Well, Yvonne, if there's one thing that you can do today, I know you said you want to work on your website, but what would you do straight after this podcast is over?
I'm going to believe in myself.
Yay! I love that so much. Yvonne, it was great having you on the Fairy BOSSmother Show, and please stay in touch. I want to see your before and after. So if you can go to Instagram, do a story about what you experienced today, send it to me. And then when you've done your little evolution, tag me again, send it back, because I'm sure the audience would love to see how you've evolved in this very short period of time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Talon. It's been a pleasure.
Awesome. Good luck and all the best.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed this episode of the Fairy BOSSmother Show and you're a small business owner, apply to be a guest on the show and get your very own live brand review. You can apply by going to my website, www.bossdiplomat.com, or snap the QR code on this video. See you soon.